we're going to move on now and look at the first stitch. So I'm going to go back to the purple just so you can see it a little bit better. If you pull this, you'll see which part is the bit you need to put your hook back in. So we're going to look at the double crochet stitch, and this is the UK terminology. It is quite difficult because there is different terminology in other countries. So DC or double crochet, that's the first stitch that we would use in the UK, and you've got 10 chains here, so you would be doing 10 stitches if you're doing double crochet, because you start off into the first chain that's right here. So you don't count the one that's on your hook, you go straight into there, you go through the hoop, through the loop, and again pull the yarn over, wrap it around, pull it through that one stitch. You've got 2 stitches on your hook, the yarn over, and you pull through both stitches, and that's a double crochet, or a DC in UK terms. So I'll show you again. So that's your first chain that you've just hooped into. This here you can see is your second chain, so you would put the hook straight through the chain. Yarn over, pull through that one loop, yarn over and pull through both loops that you have on the stitch. So that's 2 double crochets, and that's the stitch you've just worked into, and this is your chain 3 stitch. So again, hoop through the loop, yarn over, pull through the loop, you've got 2 on your hook there, so you yarn over again and you pull through both, and that's now 3 double crochets. So I'm going to do the 4th one. 4, pull through, 2 on your hook, pull through both, stitch 4, and go to chain 5, this one will be chain 6, we'll pull through, 2 on the hook, pull through, and there you go. So I'm just going to carry on to the end so I can show you all of these laid out. And what you want when you get to the end is for these stitches to all look the same and be the same size and the same tightness, and that means you've got the tension right, which you can actually feel. It's hard to describe on the camera, but you can feel the tension in your fingers. So if you pull that through, that's your finished double crochet. So you can see here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's 9 there, and then you've got the last one just on the end here. It's a little bit different from when you were looking at the chain. The chain is just 1 stitch, that's 1 and that's 2. On these you're looking at what the collar V as it goes down here and up there like a V shape. So that's 1 and that's 2, and that V is 3 and that V is 4. So that's that row. To do the next row, you do what they call a chain 1. So you put your yarn back on the hook and you just yarn over, pull it through, and you've got, that's your chain 1, and that is what you start on the next row. You turn it over and you're now working on the back. So the tail that you did have on your left hand side, because you flipped it over, is now on the right. Now on the double crochet, you have your chain 1 that you've just done, which is starting off your next row, and you then want to crochet into the first hole, which is this first V stitch right here. On everything else you would start in the second one, but on this you want to start right in there. So you put your straight in that hole, and you're going through the V, yarn over, pull through, you've got 2 on your hook, yarn over, pull through both. So that's your first one. Second one, hopefully you can see just there, that's your second. So you hook through the loop, yarn over and pull it through, yarn over and pull through 2. That's 2 stitches. Do the third, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2. If you having trouble and you can't get through for some reason like that, or you yarn over and pull through and you then can't get through these for any reason, it would just mean that you've crocheted a little bit too tight, your tension's been a little bit too tight, and you just need to slacken that off, but that comes with practice. So you go through the next hole, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. So you can see you've got the first half of your row done there. That's the one you've just crocheted into, and this is the second. If you pull it, you can quite easily see where you need to go into next. Put your hook through, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. This is the last one. The next one, so yarn over and pull through. Okay, so I missed one there, and just pull it back through, go back into the one loop, you just go back into the hole, yarn over, and you've got 2 on your hook there, yarn over and pull through 2. And that happens all the time, you get used to that. So through the loop, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. And then this is where stitch markers come in handy when you're quite new. I would have normally had a stitch marker in there when I first started, so that you can see this is your last one, and it gives you an idea of exactly where it is. You can't see it, so you see here you've got the V, it's going down and it's coming up, that's the next stitch you need to go into. If you had a stitch marker in there, one of these, it would have been so much easier to see. So again, you yarn over and pull through, and then you yarn over and pull through 2. And that's the end of that. As you can see, it curls a little bit when you pick it up. At the end of your project, you can just pin it down onto these different boards and various things you can get. There's boards you can get for kids, soft play, that's easy to pin onto. Spritz it with a little bit of water and just let it dry, and it dries flat. So this is what they call the wrong side, because the tail here is on the right hand side, but when we started to crochet the front it was on the left. So you can see how that looks. If you turn it over, the stitches look quite different. This is classed as the right side. This is a great stitch to use if you want to do just a very basic scarf, and this is quite a lovely chunky knit wool for a scarf as well. I would probably obviously do a chain of 20, so it's a little bit wider, and you would just carry on with that stitch over and over and over again until you got to the end. We'll talk about sewing that in, but at the end you would just sew that in through these different stitches, so you wouldn't see it in there, it would just be gone, and you would cut off the end and stitch that in as well. So that was the double crochet